love to gain faster results with your advertising. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to expedite your advertising results. So, you're going to want to definitely stick around and catch today's DDOA. What's going on? I'm Adrienne Lindeen, and I am a mentor in our Fast Track community, and I am also a traffic coach here. So before we get started though, I'd love to know who's catching this on the replay. If you're catching this on the replay, let me know. And if you're tuning in live, let me get a shout out. Where are you coming in from? And on on this big blue marble, as one of my mentors likes to say. I'd love to give you a shout out. Hey, what's going on? Sharon, Savannah, Julie, awesome. And again, welcome to today's Daily Dose of Awesome, your 15 minutes of inspiration, education, and motivation. And today I'm talking about how to expedite your advertising results, right? Hey, Floyd, nice to have you on here. Sean, Cherie's in the house. Savannah, what's up, girl? Nice to have you here. Hey, Cindy, nice to see you. Rebecca, great. Everyone's piling in. I'm super excited. So today I want to talk to you about, like I said, you're kind of maybe struggling to gain some traction in your advertising. So I thought I would give you 5 tips on how you can actually expedite that process. And these are the same things that I use as well in my business that I found effective in my own business, and also what we're sharing and helping our students to do inside our communities. So first of all, how many of you are currently running ads right now? How many of you are utilizing the skill sets that you're learning in attractionmarketing.com and you're applying that into your own business and you're currently running ads? I'd love to know. And if you're going to drop in your comment of your ads, how many are running traffic? How many are in conversion? I'd love to know that as well. So awesome. Julie is great. You're running some ads. I love it. Lane, awesome. Thanks for commenting below. So the first tip that I want to give you when you are running your advertising business to help expedite your results. Great, Sharon, awesome. Conversion, traffic. We got a lot of people coming in here. I love it. Is you have to know where it is that you're starting. You need to know your place, right? Where exactly are you? And I like to refer to this inside our community that we have as where you are on that student journey roadmap. How many of you have heard any one of us here in the DDOA or anybody inside the community talk about the student journey roadmap, okay? And you may even have heard about Sables. But if you're not inside this community, you're gonna wanna get in because this roadmap, right, is awesome. But understanding where exactly you are in those phases of your marketing. Hold on. Something just dropped. My notes just dropped. Where you are inside of that marketing, because sometimes if we're not clear on exactly where we are at, there can be some frustration, right? I'm not getting all these massive sales, all right? I'm not getting 3 sales a day like I wanted to. And then really being able to see, where exactly am I? What am I supposed to be optimizing at this point in my journey so that I'm clear on exactly what I need to do so that I can move forward. So identifying where you are specifically in the student journey roadmap and Sables, if you know what those are inside our community, we refer to that often. It is like the holy grail of this whole entire thing. So let's get clear on where you are. So if you're running in traffic, you understand exactly the skill set that you are learning in that phase, okay? Which will help with the frustration and it will help with that emotional piece so that you can understand that right now I'm learning to get my metrics where I want them. I'm not trying to convert sales, right? Cool, awesome. How is that, right? Is that awesome that we have this roadmap and we have a place to identify of where exactly we are to give us clarity? So yes, Julie says a lot of frustration so far. And it can be part of it, right? Learning new skill sets can be part of that. So cool. So once you identify where you are in the student journey roadmap, or where you are in Sables, whatever that looks like, you're going to have to then come up with what is your ad budget. So number 2 is set your ad budget. And this is something that we don't, isn't always necessarily thought about in the beginning, right? You're just like, oh, let me just put this amount of money towards an ad because I got to get it to that, I got to get it to the 3,000 reach to evaluate all the things. And sometimes we're left with going outside of our budget, which leads to frustration, which leads to not being able to run our business. So set your ad budget. And when I say ad budget, okay, I'm talking about what goes into all of your advertising, because sometimes we can think our ad budget means just for this ad, right? When really, if you're running a likes campaign, okay, if you're running an ad, if you're boosting posts or you're boosting live videos, that all should be considered into what your budget looks like. That is all part of your advertising budget. So if your budget is only $5 a day or your budget is only $10 a day, where might you need to put the money in for your ad, and where might you need to put the money in for your likes campaign and possibly boosting any of your posts, okay? And that's okay if it's not a big budget, but it's thinking about where can I put these pieces in so that I can get traction, right? I can get some more traction in my advertising. But understanding what does that budget look like and being able to stick to it each month. Awesome. How many of you have had a budget? How many of you have already set that aside? Maybe you are the spreadsheet kind of person and you're like, man, I already have it dialed in. Maybe you're like, I haven't even thought about that, but great tip. I'm gonna look at that and give myself a budget, because here's the thing. We don't want you guys to come in here and get excited and start building your business, start throwing money at ads, okay, when it's just going down the drain because you haven't learned the skill sets yet. And understanding that it's more than just your ad that you're currently running. The other pieces of all of your advertising monies. So awesome. Great, Cherie. Awesome, Julie. That's awesome. I am so proud of you guys for that. And I'm sure many of you also have that set. Savannah, awesome. Just added it to your list. Great. All right. So that was number 2. Number 3 is, this was something that I learned kind of earlier, not early on, but it was a huge part of being able to gain that traction, and expediting my results in the beginning when I was first getting started, is to get familiar with your metrics. Get familiar with your ad metrics, and that's number 3. And if someone wants to put that in the comments, right? If someone wants to put in number 1, number 2, and number 3, that would be awesome as people are catching the replay. But it's get familiar with your metrics. And the quicker that you can understand the metrics, and I'm back, it fell down again. The quicker you can understand your metrics, okay, the quicker you are learning that skill set. And you'll be able to problem solve. You'll be able to ask yourself evaluation questions. You'll be able to troubleshoot and become a solution solver, right? A problem solver, and a solution seeker. And you will be able to make these changes yourself as you're going through the process, right? It's part of learning the skill sets, and possibly not rely on if you can't attend an ad review or whatnot. So how might you be able to learn the metrics, the skill sets of the metrics faster in your ad? How might you be able to do that? I would love to know down in the comments how you can actually learn those faster, because we actually have resources available for you. Kendall, the numbers don't lie, right? It's externally verifiable. And you can't, you don't know what your next steps are in your ads and which direction to take if you aren't clear on what those metrics mean. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate you putting those numbers in there for me. Okay, great. Lane, traffic calls. Absolutely. We have weekly calls. So whether you have an ad or not, this is something that I did along my journey is I hopped onto the calls and I listened to the training. I listened to what's working for people. I listened to, oh, this metric, aha, like if my click-through rate isn't where I want it, this is where I should probably go look, right? So there's also another thing there. Yes, Julie, thank you. There's a metrics training in the VIP roadmap. Okay. So this is one of the keys, right, to expediting your advertising results faster is really understanding what those mean. And for those of you who hop onto the review calls, I challenge you to learn those metrics, get familiar, and kind of go through them before you submit it. And when you pop on, and I'm challenging you, you're able to say, this is what I've noticed, okay? This is what I know about that. And this is what the solution that I came up with, right? How awesome is that? You're literally like learning the skill sets like as you go, right? But it's helping you progress. Because if you're not familiar with those metrics and you're just showing up and possibly wanting and looking for those answers, you're not actually doing the learning. So we want to empower you as an entrepreneur and as a leader to really start learning those skill sets to help you gain the traction faster in your business. Hey, what's going on, Sarah? Thanks for joining. Cherie says, exactly. Awesome, I love it. Okay, the fourth thing is ad copy skills, all right? A lot of times we tend to want to go right into this image or or your headline or these things, right? But really at the end of the day, what we're finding is if you can master ad copy skills, it doesn't matter what those metrics tell you, okay? Whether there's one here that's off or one there that's off, people will buy, okay? And these ad copy skills don't just apply to the ad itself. When you learn the skills of ad copy, you actually learn that you can apply them into the blog, right? It's part of the funnel. So you can apply these skills into all parts of your funnel. Yes, Cherie says there are 4 ad copy skills. So yes, it's the breakdown of the ad copy. And you can apply that into actually your blog, right? And see if those pieces are there. And where else might you think that those skills would come into play in your funnel, right? We talk about adding in that emotion in the ad. We talk about that piece in the blog. Where else might someone hear from you in your funnel where those skills using the format can kind of come into play? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to know before I fill you in. It's actually your thank you video. You can actually apply that same thing, right? Some of those same concepts. Oh, Sharon, you got it. Awesome. You can apply those same concepts. So as you are troubleshooting and trying to problem solve what's working for me, what's not working for me, I challenge you to master the ad copy skills. And guess what? We have resources for that. Where might you find a training on that? Where might you be able to really see the ad copy formula get broken down and actually have an awesome exercise to start building those skill sets? We have that available also, but Ferdy did an amazing training on it, okay? The ad copy guidelines, it is amazing. Okay, I have actually gone through and have done that, rewritten an ad 10 times, okay? And guess what, you guys? It kind of works. And so I just wanted to say that that is probably one of the most important here is at the end of the day is your ad copy skills. So mastering those. Yes, VIP roadmap. Also, thank you, Julie, for pointing that out. And the last thing is step number 5 to expedite your advertising results is to test and evaluate, okay? And that's really what this whole game is, I call it, is test and evaluate, or is really the test and evaluation like game that you play. And sometimes, I mean, I get this question a lot. I mean, how come you're just like so okay with like the ad thing? You know, the whole like when you don't get it right, and you know, the frustration, right, piece that we get when we're like, oh my gosh, I changed my image like 6 times and I changed that. And you know, you start to question, what am I doing wrong? All those things, because I was there, you guys, and I get it. It is frustrating. But staying in evaluation helped me to stay out of emotion, because I had to stick with what the numbers were telling me. And that was a huge shift. And let me tell you, can I be completely honest with you right now? Because I think a lot of people think when people are successful and they start to get results, that they were able to just throw something out there and it worked right away. Oh, well, they're just good at it. They could just write ad copy. They're just good at da-da-da, right? Oh, your picture is great. What if I told you that some of my ads I've written actually took me 16 different revisions, 16 different tests, 16 different tweaks. I had another one that took me 22, okay? Now, I don't mean that to like scare you and be like, you're telling me, right? But had I gotten more intentional with these 5 things, it might have been able to happen sooner, okay? And had I also gotten frustrated and threw an ad away too soon before I tested and evaluated, okay? Then, you know, sometimes you guys that you might get frustrated because you're testing, but it is testing and evaluating, and it's that constant process. And so now it's like, put my ad together, send it out to Facebook land, let it see the eyeballs, okay? What are the numbers telling me? Make my tweak, send it back out there. So it's like just this game of testing and evaluating, right? And leaving emotion out of it, because it is externally verifiable information. I have to choose, go with what the numbers are telling me. So, I mean, how many of you were like, they didn't like that picture? That was like my favorite picture, but I don't want to change my picture. I don't want to change my image. I want to keep the image because I like the image, but the numbers might not be saying that your audience likes it. So we can't get all hung up in that emotion piece, because that is not going to serve our business very well. So that's why testing and staying in evaluation are imperative to this entire process. It's like testing a recipe for a cake. Exactly, Cindy, right? Did that cake come out too dry? Okay, what might I do differently? Did that cake come out too wet? What might I do differently? Might bake it longer. I might bake it, you know, not bake it as long. I love that analogy. Thank you. Cherie, awesome. Kendall, don't take the testing and evaluation personal. It fosters the growth and skills. Exactly. And I love that you brought it back into that, Kendall, because at the end of the day, what are we learning here, right? What are we learning? It starts with, it's one word, okay? We are learning, if anyone can drop it in and let me know, what do you think we're learning here with all of this here in attractionmarketing.com? What is it that we're learning? I'd love to know what you guys think. Keep the emotion out of your decisions. I like that, okay? I like that. But I'm looking for one word here specifically, right? What's your best seller, okay? Aaron says we're learning math. Are you just kidding? Actually, Facebook does the math for us, and that's what I like. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. Appreciate it. We're learning, yes, Sarah, we're learning skill sets. We're learning skills, okay? And there's no room for emotion in that, and emotion's gonna leave us not moving forward in our business. How to market right? Yes, by learning the skill sets, okay? So as we learn the skills, we have to then test them and evaluate, right? And so that was number 5, but let's bring it all back around. I wanna go through those 5 things real fast in case you're just hopping on and you're catching the end of this. Yes, Julie, we are learning skills to build attraction marketing. Great. Is number 1, right? 5 tips to expedite your advertising results. I just want to bring this back real fast. It was to know where you are starting, know where you are in your journey. And for those of you that are inside our communities, it's the Student Journey Roadmap. It is Sables. Know where you are specifically, okay? So sometimes we might identify ourselves all over here, but make sure you have all the objectives done so you specifically know where you are in your journey. Okay, and number 2 is set your ad budget. What does that look like? From all of your advertising, set your ad budget. Number 3, get familiar with your metrics. Awesome, I love it. Julie put it in again right there, perfect. Number 4 is learning those ad copy skills. And if you need to go back and go through the Ferdy's training, okay, it's also in the roadmap. It's inside the VIP or some of the groups inside our community. Go back and check that out. And the last thing is to test and evaluate, all right? And not get hung up in the emotion. Test and evaluate. Look at the data. What is the information telling you? Okay, what worked, what didn't, what might I do differently? But thank you guys for hopping on here and hanging out with me today. It is Friday. Happy Friday. If you found value in this, I would love to know. If you could drop me in a hashtag value, that would be awesome so that I know that you found value. I thought that this would be a good one for you guys as we've had lots of conversations with students, and I thought I would help you put together some tips on how you can really expedite those results for yourself, get more intentional, get more dialed in to see you grow, right? We want everyone here to win. So awesome. I just want to go through and see and say what's up to people that are hopping on here. Cherie, awesome. You're an amazing girl. Julie, Sharon, hey, Erin, Melissa, thanks for hopping on here. Crystal, nice to see you. Who else? We have Susan on. We have Kathleen. Awesome, awesome. And Kendall, thank you so much for your input. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Yes, I am already festive and ready to go. How many of you are excited? It's like, where the heck did September go? Right? Moving straight into October. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Got to hop off here. And don't forget, we are back here on Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock, would that be, I don't know, 12 o'clock Central. I'm just trying to think about my time zone. Don't miss the next episode of your Daily Dose of Awesome. We'll be back here Monday delivering you some value. Have a wonderful weekend and a great rest of your Friday.